And when Sapin looked at the publications, then he finds the same pattern. There's no kill lines, there's no slaughter. And in fact, generally speaking, in a very overt sense, you don't see in these early learning books other animals being eaten or on the plate in an overt sense of that's what it is. You might see pizza being eaten, or you might see hamburgers, but you don't necessarily understand that you're dealing with a dead body, essentially. So this is Sapin's research question, which is of interest to us, because what indeed does happen when we kind of move from that fantasy land and we start to learn that actually some of our values in society are not so good. What's really going on is that we're moving from being moral patients into being moral agents. Now, this is quite important for us. In the animal rights sense, we are already involved with a lot of animal exploitation before we're moral agents. We're already involved. We're already eating them. We're already wearing them. We're already using the cosmetics and medication. We're already involved. We're already there. And then we become moral agents, and we can think about moral issues. And then you think, right. Some part of what goes on is that when people go vegan, they kind of have to admit that hitherto they've been making moral error upon moral error until then. And then they kind of have to deal with it in a sense. What Sapin is saying, as I suggested, is that there is a reconditioning goes on. Really, we're cueing people in to adult life. And what he says about adult life is it's full of denial. Now, one thing we do know about human beings, there's extensive literature on this, is that we are very good at denial, going all the way back to Freud and onwards. So this is what goes on. We're transforming other animals from this fantasy people into objects of utility, as Sapin puts it. In other words, we start to cue our kids in that we use other animals in a variety of ways. And so we might do that by just talking about categories. For example, we might use the category pets to talk about a particular type of use. We might then talk about the ones that we eat. We can talk about the ones that we wear. We can use categories like wildlife or vermin. And so we're kind of cueing our kids in to the fact that our relationship with other animals is far more complicated than what was initially kind of taught to us.